In this video, we will add the Playbook as a record page tab to a configurable workspace, and we're going to use UI Builder for it. This is part 2. In video 1, I've explained a bit of the concepts, the difference between screens and variants and macroponents and so on. So it's highly recommended to check that out as well. We are going to do it in UI Builder, and there is a community article that follows the steps. So this is a companion to that article. So let's get started in UI Builder, and we're gonna start with a new page. We're gonna base it out of a blank page. We don't need any wiring, and we're gonna call this Playbook Helper. This is we will not actually use this one, but we are gonna leverage UI Builder to add the components, configure components, and so on. And obviously we need to add the Playbook component to our Playbook helper page. And at the body level, we need to define two properties: the table as well as the sysid. And those in the Playbook itself, we are going to reference the newly created properties over here. Another thing that I like to configure is the activity view, set it to focused. And for the body, this one, we are going to set it here to a fixed value of -1, so that replicates a new record. And the table will be the interaction table. We are here using the Playbook Experience demo, so this is a separate plugin you can install, and this is a demo Playbook that is based on the interaction, and this also has a record generator. So if we have a sysid -1, then the Playbook will always be visible. So that's an easy one to test with. Can close this. So the first step is now done. We have created this, and now we're gonna proceed with the UX screen collection. So this will be actually the screen that is gonna be embedded. This cannot be embedded. This is a real page. So let's proceed with that, and then the type one, and we're gonna create a new directly, and I'm gonna call this Playbook tab. Hit save using SNUtils, and then the UX app route, that is the next record we're gonna create, and here I'm gonna name it just Playbook. This is the name of the tab that will appear inside the tab component in your record. So let's keep that short and sweet. The route read to that lowercase Playbook tab. The app configuration, we are now working in the CSM, FSM, Configurable Workspace, but select your own. This is important to select the record page tabs. So here we should be ready. Oh yeah, and this one I added in the description in the article. You can check, but this is usually the same if you're using the out-of-box record page tabs. So submit, and then the UX screen, the next one. Now this one can be again called Playbook tab for consistency. The order is okay. The page definition, that will be the playbook helper, the one we created. So this is the page definition. We're gonna leverage that macro component, and the parent macro component here will be again the page tab and this one. So for now we should be good here, and we're gonna submit. Now we're gonna save, because we need to edit this page later. So let's go to our article. So we have created the screen record now, and now we can already check if the tab will appear. So if we going to UI Builder, say create a new interaction. Now nothing appears, but let's refresh the page. So now you see that it appears. So we needed to refresh in order to get all the new wiring that was just added. But you see it is empty, and that makes sense because it is not connected with the new data. So the next step, as explained in our article, we are now here at step 6. We can here open the current page via developer. We can open the variant. So this is the background wiring of everything that's in the current page created in UI Builder. So I'm gonna copy all of that, and I'm going to paste that over here. And you see here that here it is still a JSON literal, -1 in interaction, but we of course want to connect that to the actual table and sysid we are on. So in the article I have a little snippet over here. Copy that and paste that in your over here, and overwrite the two properties with that value. And just because it's SNUtils, hit Command Save. The reason why I'm not want to change this in UI Builder, because it does not know this property, and when I would change this it would break UI Builder. So my preference is to keep these values at hard coded and edit it in the macro component configuration of the actual Playbook tab. So now let's do a refresh, and now you see that it is connected to the Playbook. So now we see that the Playbook will render, and the details will render the classic form. So, but now you will see that it will not actually work. So when I click continue, what in the background happens? Now a real interaction record is created, and we should forward it, redirect to that newly created record. But that involves event handlers, and they are not wired up yet. So in ours, when we are here, so we just refresh the workspace, and now we need to add an event. So this is done via a client script, and here you see what I just explained: update status of the current screen. So when we create that, we get a payload with the table and the newly created sysid, and we don't want to open a new tab, but we want to update the status of our screen to that newly created one. So let's create this client script, Playbook record generated, and that's done in UI Builder. And over here we can just save it. And this newly created script, we need to wire it up to the Playbook and to the Events tab, and the event is playbook record generated. In Rome and San Diego, this will have a slightly different layout, but it is functional the same. So connect it to the newly created script, and now again save, and again test often, do a refresh. And now when we hit continue, you see that the screen is indeed being updated, and that we can progress to the next step inside of UI Builder. Yeah, so now it works. Okay, so that's good. And the next thing, let's mark this as complete as well, because there are a few more things that we need to do. When I select someone to assign it to and I click update, you see, because I am in a Tokyo release, that the playbook automatically progresses. So let's go back. Here we have a link to Able Tutor, and when I click on that, I would expect it to open the record of Able Tutor, but that does not happen. So again, we need to wire up an event for that. And for that one, it is a bit different. We are gonna leverage an existing event handler. We're not gonna use a script. So let's go to it and link to destination. Sorry, we need to add an event of the open record, and that is going to be linked to destination, and the destination will be the record page. So select that one, and from here again we're going to bind it to that payload, and then the table property obviously, and the sysid comes also from the payload. sysid, okay. And subnavigation, this is a property we need to set. We want to open it in our current subnavigation and not at the parent level. So setting this to current will ensure that we add the record at the appropriate level. So save it, and we're gonna add, while we are at it, another, the one for, let me see, open list. That is the same, but just a list and not a record. So select the destination. We're going to navigate to the simple list page. Here we need to add a few more payload properties. So we have them all, so it's just a one-on-one mapping. All right. And again, we also want this opened in the current. So now we have added a few events. Let's check out where we are. So we have added the open record event handle. We opened the open list event handler. So now what we need to do is So at first we didn't have any event mapping, but now let's refresh the page over here. So this is the UI builder one, so the helper one. And you see that now we have a lot of event mapping over here. And now we also need to copy that over here in the event mapping field. So copy, paste, and go back over here and hit refresh. And now when we go back over here and we click Able Tutor, so now we see that this works. We can open the Able Tutor records with the details over here. And this also has a Playbook tab that we don't like, but hang on. Let's proceed with our Playbook over here. And now we have a list over here, and we have the open list button here. We already added that event handler. So, and we see indeed that this event handler also works. So that is all good. So as you just have seen that it opened a Playbook tab where we didn't like it. So let's open it again. Able Tutor. This opens a Playbook tab now, but it doesn't have a Playbook attached to it. So for that we need to add a condition. So that is this script. Copy it. And you can see that we need to go back to our Playbook tab over here, scroll down and go to the UX screen conditions. From here we need to enable the checkbox scripted conditions, and I have prepared the script. So what this does, it checks based on the payload table and the sys-ID, it checks if via an existing API, if this has a Playbook attached to it. So we can submit it. And now we can refresh the Able Tutor page. And it still has it, so let me go over it once again. This is all good. I'm gonna do one more refresh. Oh no, it took a little time, but now it went away. So this is it. We are now, whenever there is a record attached, we will show the Playbook. So if we create a new one, it will open the Playbook tab. And for records that don't have the Playbook, it will not appear. So this is it. I hope this helps you if you need to implement this requirement. And I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thank you.